Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Another glorious day of GDP production. And not so young man ass. He's not old. He's just not. He's about my age. I bet he's my age. Maybe a little older. Anonymous is fine, but I don't really care. I've been making my teenagers read Worthless in Poor Rich's Retirement for years now, but it's obviously not been sinking in. My now adult daughter wishes to go to Boyce College to study Christian counseling. Oh, God. I don't. Here's the problem. If she did want to become a professional psychologist, I don't know if the Christian aspect matters. There's counseling or not. Christian counseling, okay, that'd be a selling point. But the main thing is she going to go get her master's? The minimum. And master's would just allow you to go work for the state at like, I don't know, $18 or $20 an hour. Very part-time. Like when there's a shooting, and then they rush all the psychologists in because they actually don't care about the kids or the death of the kids that had been shot in the school. They just want to make money off of the death of children, right? That's the word. And then they're going to bus in the because these psychology master's candidates or graduates, they don't have jobs. There's so many psychology majors flooding the market, but there's just not the demand for them. That's why they rush them in. And they got a vampire off of the death of children because that's money. Don't let a crisis go to waste. Anyway, so the fact it's Christian just makes the hair on the back of my neck go up because it should either be counseling or not. That's it. Is it accredited? Is it going to land you a job? And I don't know if you knew about this, but Christians are nonprofits. They're kind of cheap. Not cheap, but they're supposed to be. Like, if you want to go work in Christian counseling, well, guess what? You better be in the mentality to work as a nonprofit and not get paid. Or get paid very little. I'm beside myself. My request is a twofer. First, I'd like an analysis of the value of a degree in counseling from Boyce College in the flavor of Worthless. I want to know how long it will take her to recover the money lost to tuition and lost working years to the pursuit of a 4-year degree, as compared to $12 per hour job that she could get with only a high school diploma just about anywhere around the city. All right, well, let's do that. First, every psychology degree is worthless from Boyce College or not if all you do is you get a bachelor's degree. And the reason most people who go for psychology don't get a master's degree or a doctorate is because they're lazy. And it sounds like your daughter is that. Your daughter's lazy. Because I'll admit this about advanced degrees in psychology, you actually do have to do some statistical analysis. You actually do have to do some math. And that's usually where they wash out. And let's just face it, what the fuck does your daughter know about counseling? I'm sorry, did she serve in Iraq? Did she go through some galvanizing, torturing life experience to give her some kind of anchoring in reality that she would have the wisdom to guide people who might actually have genuine mental illnesses and real problems in their life? I don't know if you ever saw Gran Torino. But one of the dynamics I liked about that movie was the relationship between the 24-year-old wet behind the ears pastor and Clint Eastwood's character. Clint Eastwood was a Korean vet, and here's this 24-year-old, 25-year-old dope of a pastor who, I got my book. It's like, kid, get the hell out of here. And that's what most guys who go into psychology is they don't want to work. They think, I'm going to like, how do I? And they're lazy. They don't want to work. They don't want to work hard. They think being a psychologist, but it's not even, they're too dumb, they're too slow, they're too lazy to even realize how arrogant it is of them to think that with no experience, still living at home, they haven't even supported themselves, they're somehow going to give advice about mental health on people's personal lives. It's another main reason that I loathe and detest the psychology profession in general, because most of these people have never worked a real job. They're not real people. They're not real men and women. They're weaklings. They're arrogant, too stupid, too clueless, too lazy to realize how accidentally arrogant they are to say, well, I studied this, and so I could tell you everything you need to know about your brain. It's like, unless you're a neurochemist or a neurosurgeon, go shut the fuck up. It's also why when I recommend it, sadly, there is mental illness. And in cases, it does help to have a therapist or someone, a third independent party to talk to. But the credentials that you should look in a psychologist is not whether he or she has a doctorate. I always say, you want the grizzled old Vietnam vet. You want the man who's pissed off at the world because that guy knows shit. You don't want Bipsy, the 25-year-old who never supported herself, coming fresh out of her doctorate program, who has her license to do so. By the way, most of them, not most, what was it? Is it a fourth or a third? No, it's a fourth of females in general on psychotropic drugs. It may go up for women as they get younger. But the percent of psychologists themselves who are on drugs, it's like being a heroin dealer and you're doing your own product. Like, no, you don't want that. No. Especially you don't want that person telling you about mental health. So if she just gets a bachelor's degree, it's going to be completely worthless. She'll be just yet one of many millions of young American women. And she'll have student loan debt. Please don't tell me you're paying for this. By God, you're the fool if you're paying for this. If you and your wife are paying for it, you, sir, are a fool. Right? I just saved you $80,000. We'll go over the money later. She will ruin her life. Her finances, I mean, which will ruin her life because as much as we don't like it, ruining finance. She does not seem to have the work ethic to pay back $80,000, which is what this is going to cost her. And we can do the math later here in a bit, but that's going to compound at, 6%. And if she is this delusional about the real world, I bet you she doesn't understand how compound mathematics and interest rates work. She'll be like the gal Baker, some teacher was hoping she'd get government loan forgiveness because she worked as a teacher. Now she's 56. She's got $80,000. It started at 40, and it was obvious she didn't know how compound math works. And your daughter, you either nip this in the bud now and kick her ass into reality and say, no, we're not paying for that, and you could pay for it. And she'll hate you and my parents. Well, this is the time where you get to parent. Because you're not going to throw your money at a worthless degree, and an overpriced college, by the way. And she doesn't have the money, but she will, and then it'll be up to her whether she knows better than people twice her age. Right? And she will then either sign away for the loans and indebt herself, the only point of which time you can explain to her what compound interest is, and you're going to tell her, we're not bailing you out. You're making a mistake. And then it's going to be up to her whether she's going to listen and heed wisdom or she's going to go with arrogance and pride. And this is where you got to let your children fail. And dude, it sounds like you tried. Dude, you're like 1 in 10,000 having your kids read Worthless and Poor Richard's. Well, you got to realize this happened to me. Little kid, well, not a little kid anymore, now almost an adult. Little kid, kind of had a soft spot for it. I call it because it's still in it, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm like, and me and this kid had a lot more in common than just, being humans. Similar background. And I'm like, I know exactly what this kid's going to do. I'm going to make sure this kid goes into engineering. I'm going to make sure this kid becomes an accountant. I'm going to make sure this kid goes into debt. I'm going to make sure this kid doesn't make the mistakes I did. And once they become teenagers, they don't care. They're their own people. They are not, this coffee mug, I can make it do whatever I want. Humans, you can't. Even your own children, you can influence them, but in the end, sometimes they make a choice on their own. I do believe that parents have incredible control over the outcome of their children, but at the same time, they are independent humans. They are going to make their own choices, and a lot of times the choices are going to be stupid. Now, you'd hope that the choices of being stupid would, I'm going to dye my hair purple. Well, at least you can dye it back and grow it out. This is a critical one. So, you hiring me to tell her what a stupid decision this is good. But for your own benefit, you got to realize sometimes kids and loved ones are going to make incredibly stupid decisions. And the the thing that, you know, had a little thing here for it, is now going to go into interior design. And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, what? And then I am the one that had to realize. I was in error. Because if I look back at it, that kid has now personally decided it's going to go and do its thing. And it's going to ignore reality. It's going to ignore that I had been giving. And you know what? I don't control it. And it's now my fault for beating myself over the head. I've made my argument. I've made my case. I've provided all the evidence. And some people, man, dude, why is Oprah 10 times, 1,000 times richer than I? What is a billion times? What? 10,000 times more rich than I am. Why has Oprah got all the money and I'm in my pretty nice apartment now? Why am I driving an old Chevy that's older than most kids today? The reason why is because most people, especially women and girls, want to be lied to. They'd rather have lies than have the truth. And if your daughter is addicted to lies this much, despite heroic efforts on your parts, again, you're one of 10,000 parents that actually gave their kids worthless, you gotta realize she's decided on her own. You just don't, you warn her, you love her, I don't want you to screw up, this all comes from love. Enough with the touchy-feely cake and mom and positive reinforcement, sometimes there's negative, but we are not paying, we are not sending our good money. Because you're never going to get it back. I got another guy, he blew $200,000 on his daughter's worthless education. She majored in education, and she didn't even get her degree, and then she went on to become a flight attendant. And he's like, oh. I'm just like, dude, I'd kill my daughter. I'd fucking kill her. If I had a daughter, $50,000 a year this school was, and she didn't even she went 4 years but didn't finish the degree, and then went and became a flight attendant, like, you're paying me back every fucking penny. With interest, because that was my retirement. That could have been retirement. That could have been a house. To speak to you and how you need to approach this, you and your wife, you lay down your argument. You say, we're not paying for this worthless degree. You're paying for it. And if you want me to speak directly to the kid, yeah, kid, it's a worthless degree. And here's what the other thing is: deep down inside, you know it, and you're only majoring in it because either you're getting attention at this college, or you're lazy, you don't want to work hard at math or engineering. Now to do the math, all right, it's an $20,000 a year. I know they say you're going to get tuition, but no, let's just assume not. $80,000. Okay, let's say, how long to recover her money and lost tuition? 80,000 times 0.06. That's $4,800 a year. Divided by 12, that means she's got to work 400. Oh, what's the amortization? I should do an amortization, shouldn't I? 400. What do you make when you make $12 an hour? 12 times 2,000. What is that? 2,400 a year times 0.8. Let's just say, so it's take home of 19 divided by 12. $1,000. Okay, so she's bringing about $1,500 a month home. She'd have to live at home. You'd have to pay for everything. She still would not be an adult. She would still be, Mama, Dada, I need money. She'd be at 22. And if she threw all the money, what was it, 80,000? That's 80 months divided by 12, which is 7 years. The best outcome. If she goes to this school and only gets a bachelor's, you could expect her to live at home till she is 29. Because this is minimum. This is a best case scenario. You will be paying for her to live at home, making her $12 an hour job. Now, of course, she'd probably make more than that. But still, this assumes she's throwing all of her excess money and not going on having any fun. She will have 7 years of amortization, I ever so roughly estimate, to pay off that student loan. And that's living at home, which technically means she'd be way ahead of millennials, because most millennials still have student loan debt in their 30s and now about to be their 40s. So she's coming out ahead, but she'd be living at home easily. She's going to be at home until she's 30. Or she'll be out somewhere, and you're going to be paying more money and subsidizing her. This is now where you let her suffer. Let her suffer. Aaron, how'd you become awesome? Because my parents didn't help me. They couldn't help me. There was no help. There was no money. No one is coming to save you. And then I wrote about this. Diamonds, stars, and steel. Look up that article. You have to go through a galvanizing process to become an amazing person. In all arrogance and things set aside, no, I'm an amazing person. I've done amazing things, but it's because I went through fucking hell to get here. I'm not saying your daughter has to go through that much hell, but let your daughter suffer her own mistakes. Let her figure it out. And the best thing you can give her is wisdom. Say, I told you not to do it. Show the math. Do amortization on 8,000. Show the math. And then you could do the numbers. And you know what I would do? I would film that conversation so that at any time she says, well, you did, because it's funny how kids have a tendency to forget stuff. Then you could just show it to her. But I would not pay for her living expenses. I would not pay for I dated. I went on a date with a really cute Persian girl a long time ago. And she was majoring in biology, and then she switched to art at the U of M, big art school. And her dad stopped paying for tuition. She was all pissed off. I'm like, yeah, I think your dad's pretty smart. Had I been smarter, I would have said, I'd like to meet your dad, because she was hot. But there was a dad I'd like to talk to. You got to be that dad. You say, yeah, we're not paying for this stupid fucking degree. We'll pay for engineering, we'll pay for STEM, but we're not paying for your fluffy bunnies degrees. So that kind of answered your percent. I'd like an analysis on the value of the degree. The degree unto itself has zero value. She would have to get a doctorate, period. And she could probably start by going to a 2-year community college, get her prereqs out of the way dirt cheap. She could go online. I bet you she could go get a degree in accounting or something and then apply for a master's program in psychology. I don't think you even need an undergrad in psychology to do that. Yeah, and if she worked, let's say she lived at home at $1,600 a month. Let's say she lived at home for 4 years and just worked her $12 an hour job. And this assumes no promotion, no increase in pay. 12, did I do that right? Times 12. Oh, come on, Clary, get your act together. 12 times 2,000, 24,000. 20,000 per year, let's just say after taxes, times 4. Okay, she makes 80 grand. She'll be 80 grand ahead. I mean, so she'll be $160,000 better off. She will not have $80,000 in debt. She'll have 80 grand in cash, and then she can go to a school, whatever she wants. But again, this assumes she stays at home. You're paying for everything, and she squirrels away her money. The second request is your general update on your baseline annual income number in Worthless. I took that number and rounded up to $15,000 a year, and I have been calling it the pull your own weight number, in a sense that if you're not earning at least this much after taxes, you're not pulling your own weight, and your existence is being subsidized so far by me. Yeah, or the taxpayer. I like to see an updated analysis of the data that you used in writing over the book, see what the 2019 pull your own weight number would be. Well, we're going to do a much quicker and cheaper way. Let me pull this up. Let's do the CPI. I could go through in each individual item, but the CPI is going to cover that. CPI. Okay. Usually I'm able to type this in. Okay. Worthless was written in 2011. Here's the data. Just give me the fucking data. Government. Okay, let's go. St. Louis Fund. CPI. Okay. 2011. God, was it that long ago? 2008. Did I write in 2000? Wait, when did I write it? When was this written? Yeah, 2011. Seemed longer ago than that. Okay, the CPI in June of 2011 was 225. Today it is 255. So 255 divided by 225 equals, there's been 13% inflation times 15,000. It's 17,000. So now after taxes, it's $17,000. You need to be bringing in $17,000 to do that. However, I will admit the failings of the CPIs, they don't really include rent or housing. Whoa. Oh, millennials, so smart. Vote in to get more money. Oh, why is, if you as a millennial cannot figure out why voting in Barack Hussein Obama, and quadrupling the money supply resulted in tuition going up by so much and rental prices going up and housing going up by so much, you are not educated at all. You are a dupe with a worthless piece of paper. So that's it. I'm sorry, buddy. This is the time where you gotta, I'll say it again. You are not fighting for the acceptance and friendship of your children today. Parents should be fighting for the respect and love of their children when they're in their 30s. Because that means you have raised adults. Plus, me personally, I would not throw $80,000 of my own money, let alone my daughter's money, into that. I wouldn't. If she comes in with an application that needs you to sign it, and it's her incurring $80,000 of debt for this worthless degree, I would not do it. I did ask, is she going to get her master's? It's a bachelor's program, so let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's only 4 years. No, it's not. It's a worthless step. She needs to get a master's. I would not even bother going to Boyce. It's overpriced. Go to a community college. Get your credits cheap there. Go online. Are you married, or is the mom somebody else is getting in this girl's ear? No, I'm still married, and mom's kind of pissed about this too. There you go, mom. Mom's awesome. God bless her. Because they're apparently spraying it on her and has been avoiding mentioning it to me. Oh, she knows. See, she knows. Dude, that's such hypocrite and cowardice. In avoidment, what she did was ask me if she could enroll in Boyce in order to take a course in Hebrew. It was okay with that, but I told her if she could audit that course. I figured that'd be a great way for her to dip her feet into college scene without being fully immersed. Since then, she has apparently been telling friends at church she's attending Boyce in the fall and pursuing Christian counseling. Okay, so she's lying. That's bad. Dude, bring on the boom. My daughter ever pulled this shit? Like, nope, you're not going to college now. You're not attending college. You haven't been accepted. You are auditing a course. You are not a college student. This is all ego. This is 100%. Oh, God, this is 100% ego of her. That's, you know what? And here's the hypocrisy. This is, again, boys, this is why you don't date Christian girls that go to Christian colleges. Most of them are egotists. This is abusing Christ. This is abusing Christianity for her own ego. I'm going to this college. So she's just doing it to brag. Oh my God, talk about avoiding work. My wife has a bachelor's of science in biology, so she's been long in favor of higher education, but she was even like counseling that doesn't pay anything. Can you have your wife do seminars for the rest of the women out there? So that, take the video. And my daughter's name is Violet, and I want her to know that this is for her when I send her the YouTube link. Don't use, of course not, I'm not going to use her last name. Violet, knock it off. You're not fooling me, man. And you're not fooling, you want to go, hey, you want to fuck up your life? Go fuck up your life. You make your choice. Because you know deep down inside this is all bullshit. You're not really a college student. You're doing it for ego satisfaction. And I just told your dad not to pay your way through college, because why the fuck should he waste 80 grand of his hard-earned money on your worthless degree? Right? This is just for you to be popular, isn't it? This is just so you can feel good about yourself. Forget what, you know what? You want to feel good about yourself? Go hit the gym. You want to feel good about yourself? Go do something of genuine accomplishment. Right? Don't drag your dad's finances or your mother's finances to the fucking ground, let alone your own finances, for a worthless degree. Boys, who the hell's ever even heard of Boyce? You shouldn't even be going to college. You obviously are not mature enough for this decision. You should stay the fuck at home and work. Save up some money. Don't even waste your time going to counseling. Counseling, please. Christian counseling. Stay at home, work. Right? Until you actually make the adult decision and the realization that being popular and just going to college because that's what everybody's doing, you want to be like everybody else. Oh my goodness, Tina. All Right? Until you realize that, with an $80,000 price tag, that's a dumb decision. If you can't have the independent thought and the critical thinking skills to realize that's a losing proposition and then you're going to be way better off just staying at home and working than getting a worthless degree, don't go to college. You're not smart enough. You're not independent-minded enough. All right? If you want to invest, difference. You want to invest $80,000 in an engineering degree, an accounting degree, because it's going to pay you back, cool. But you obviously have no clue and that's fine. You're not supposed to know what you want to major in right now, right? But you're not majoring. Well, maybe you are. You go take on the debt, and you taking on $80,000 in your name, you can major in. You can major in poop sculpture studies. Who knows what worthless degrees exist out there? You can go ahead and do that. But don't you blame your parents, and don't you expect your parents to piss away that money. And that's what it is. It's pissing away that money. All right, there. And to the parents, she'll make her own decision. Just don't feel guilty if she makes the wrong one. You did your best. You tried your best. And, that's all you can do. Like the little girl in my life who's not a little girl anymore. It's going to suck, but that's not you. That's a separate human being. Much as you might care about them. All right, see you guys later. Toodles.